with the pace of society, it's just always there's some like hectic urge to be somewhere where we're not yet, and there's so much so-called more important things, but what could be more important than the kids, to really give them more time to open up and for them to feel safe and to feel that it's okay to have all these different feelings and to let them out, that it's not bad of them or something else like that, that there would be opportunities for that kind of healing, of getting the stuckness out of things that they have not been able to express before.
And I think also that next to that, what kind of is missing overall, I feel, is just that we're being taught we're kind of being taught all of these different things and subjects in school and later on too, with regarding like university and college before that, and you name it all. But I kind of also feel that what we're not really being taught is how to, could say it in that sense, take good care of ourselves, of our like mental health or our physical health, or like our overall well-being, and like how to deal with our emotions and how to do these things in a proper sense, or like to give that like space. Because the thing is, like, in some way you could make the argument like, yeah, well, that's the parents' job, and in some sense, like, yes, it is, but at the same time, there are plenty of kids that don't grow up in an environment where they're being taught how to do that type of stuff, like how to deal properly with certain things. And I think that kind of sets people up, if they don't deal with it and don't know how to deal with it, towards problems in later life. And then also at the same time, it's kind of like what keeps this whole like generational trauma thing going too, I feel. Because a lot of families that have generational trauma, they're kind of stuck in certain behavioral patterns and have certain problems with certain emotions or all kinds of different like problems. I mean, some have alcohol problems running in the family, or you name it. It can be anything. But I think that in that sense, it's not like it's not really the people's fault, like the parents' fault, that they grew up in it. It's like a cycle that they're stuck in. And the thing is that I feel that it's important to have that type of structure, to be able to at least give those kids then also a helping hand in processing it, dealing with it, and then know how to properly take care of their well-being, and to be able to put that first. Because I think that's the most important thing. Because you said that with, but like how society is always about like the next thing and the next big thing, and just keep pushing on and stuff. But the thing is that if it's at the cost of people's well-being, then you'll just end up burning people out, and that's kind of what is happening, because there are so many people that are at some point dealing with it, and it started to become like really noticeable in my old like the company I used to work for, especially during the COVID years. It started to become very like obvious, to say the least, because they were dealing with a lot of other stressors at the same time. The kids were at home, and or they were stuck with their dog in their little apartment, stuff like that, and their normal like coping mechanisms didn't work anymore. So then one after the other at work suddenly started to have a burnout. And they started to have all kinds of mental problems, and one after the other needed to go see someone, or like or even go back to the office to like to be able to, like, I don't know, kind of like cope with the situation, and so that they could like be a long day at work again, so, because that's their coping mechanism, because they can't deal with being at home with their kids for too long, or with their family. And I don't know, like, it kind of just showed me that really there's so much unresolved trauma and issues that are there, and it revealed it to me, at least, that it was there and is there. And yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking, like, let's get on it. Like, let's go create that space for it.
Yeah. There are some spaces on the internet too, like, I guess they're quite rare, but that feel like that are safe, and where people can speak and share about also the difficult things, and that's so important. Maybe it's also about changing the culture to more like more open to that sort of exchange, that it's okay, and that it is actually healing. It's not dangerous. Someone shares about something difficult, it's actually healing. But where do you think, or like, where would we start with that, making it happen more?
I don't know, like, in that sense, when I'm thinking about it, I mean, the first thing that I think that one could do, or like, yeah, what one could do is to have more of those places online first, where people can safely share, and that's though a big thing about, like, safely share, like, that it is a safe, an actual safe space where they can be vulnerable, and yeah, it's very, very important in that regard. And I think, like, slowly, I would hope that type of, like, consciousness about, or like, yeah, about those things, or like being aware of those things, and that it isn't scary to talk about those things in like safe settings, would be overall a very good thing. And I think it would also kind of bring people back together in a sense of community, I feel. And at the same time, it would connect people too, like, no matter who they are, because they can relate. I kind of feel like there's such like, yeah, such a like certain fear, or like they just don't want to be confronted by it within, like, well, not overall culture, but at least a work culture that I've witnessed, that there's a certain fear, like they don't know what to do with it. They're like, oh god, there's this person here talking about these things. But I feel like at the same time it's a way deeper connection that you're then making. Maybe that's like part of the fear that people maybe are afraid to be that intimate with others. That's why they don't dare to do it. But at the same time, it really connects different people, like no matter who they are, together, because they can be like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and they can relate, and then they can share in their own burdens too, and then you have it started, like that sharing of those burdens, so you don't have to, in that sense, bear your cross alone.
Bear it alone, or be pushing something repeatedly over time down, and suppressing it. That can take up so much energy to keep doing that. And instead we could release that, and then be able to move forward.
For the entire episode, please check out the description or click on the end screen. And maybe see you next time.